there, I'm Susan Beyer, and this is Fun with Research. Thanks for joining me today. On today's video, we're going to talk about lists. A lot of people get very excited about research and then sort of run into the question of how am I going to get respondents for my study. And very often I'll get asked the question, should we buy a list? We found a list, should we buy a list? And typically this is a list of email addresses that you could send to for your research. And I'm going to advise you against doing that for a number of reasons. The first reason is how these lists are sourced. Often they are sourced, if you've ever been to a state fair or something like that, there may be somebody saying, hey, you know, fill this out and you might win a prize. Well, what you're doing is giving permission to be emailed at the email address that you've provided on that, and they sort of accumulate all these email addresses and then sell them as lists. So as you might expect, the people on that list aren't necessarily opting in with intention to participate in something like research. It's true that they've signed on the dotted line, but their engagement with invitations that are going to come to that email is going to be pretty low. Often they'll be marked as spam. So it's just not good quality responses. And the other thing is when you buy a list, typically you buy a list, and whether it delivers responses or not, and whether it delivers quality responses, is really something that's just based on your trust in the list. You can't get your money back in a situation like that. So lists, especially email lists accumulated that way, are not a great way to get responses. I would much rather have you consider, for example, targeting invitations for your survey in communities where the people you're looking for tend to congregate. So that could be a Facebook group, that could be targeting on a social media platform. Certainly, you could also partner with an organization that has those people in their community and is willing to send your survey invitation out for you to their people. So, for example, this could be an association that has the people that you're interested in. This could be a partner healthcare organization. If you're a hospital, maybe you ask to work with the Red Cross and they are willing to send out the survey invitation on your behalf in order to see some of the results of your research. And key to this for partnerships, which I've seen work very, very well, is that the survey is anonymous so that they know their people aren't going to be spammed with a bunch of stuff after participating in the research, and that your partner sends out the invitation. That has two benefits. First, they don't have to give their email list to anyone, which is certainly valuable to organizations not to have to share their list. And secondly, the invitation to that potential respondent is going to come from an organization that they trust, that they know that they're engaged with, instead of some random agency or research company that they've never heard of. So partnerships are terrific. And then the last resort to get respondents who may not be in your database or in your client's database is to work with a quality panel provider. These folks manage groups of people willing to participate in surveys. Every kind of person that you can imagine is in these, from heart surgeons down to stay-at-home moms. And you can often get very good quality responses. And the nice thing about panels is that you can specify who you want in terms of age distributions or other things like that, and you're only paying for the responses that meet your requirements, including your quality controls. So you can go through and decide that some of the responses you got don't look like they're very good quality. Maybe they're speeding through the survey or they're patterning or something like that, and you don't have to pay for those responses. So we find that panels are a very good value at times when our clients don't have access to the people that they really want to take the survey. But I wouldn't even put buying an email list on the last of that list. I wouldn't do it at all. I would never suggest that you do that. It just doesn't make sense. It's not. They're not going to be good quality responses, and I'm afraid that you're going to waste your money. So there are options to finding responses, finding respondents for your study. An email list is not that you purchase is not going to be the best option. Hope that's helpful. We'll see you again next Friday on Fun with Research.